Unibet, det enda spelbolag som tar min sport på allvar.
When it was just Gegard Mousasi, don't get me wrong, incredible opponent. But for me, just another opponent. When it was Anderson Silva, when Dana called me and gave me the change, yeah, super excited. It changed everything. It's a fight that I wanted for so long. It's a fight that I think if I win this, you know, when I win this, there's only 2 people in the UFC to ever beat him, me being one of them. I think he puts me in line for a title shot. And of course, he's a legend, you know. All things said and done, the guy is a legend. So yeah, it's a very, very tough test for me, but one that I believe I will prevail in.
Speaking of his past opponents, you said before that they do you think they give him a bit too much respect?
Of course. His opponents, apart from Chris Weidman, have all been terrified, and apart from Nick Diaz. Now, he won the Nick Diaz fight, but he looked very beatable. In the past, when he was on his crazy run of champion, a lot of his opponents were beaten mentally before the fight even started. I'm not going to allow him that same fortune, you know. So I'm going to take this fight to him, of course.
Michael, how proud, as a British athlete, back on English soil for the first time in so long, how proud are you to be representing the UFC and have been representing the UFC for 10 years as Britain's #1 fighter?
Listen, you know, being an Englishman, being a British fighter, representing our fantastic nation at this high level for me means the world to me, it really does. And the support of the British public blows me away all the time, it really does. I never take it for granted ever, and something I will take to my grave. Of course, I've always wanted to be the first British European champion, first British UFC champion. You know, whether or not that happens isn't really that important. Representing England, representing Great Britain, that's what's important to me. Representing myself and my family, of course. But yeah, I'm very excited to be here. You know, great media attendance, sold out crowd. You know, I can't wait. I'm super excited.
Does the weight of all of that responsibility, if you like,
sure,
does that weigh heavily on your shoulders? I mean, you've been doing it for such a long time now, and you know, you've spoken about how you're representing the country and your family and all the rest of it.
Well, part of the reason I think I've been so successful is that I've always put a lot of pressure on myself, a lot of pressure to perform, and you know, that results in a great training camp and a great fight. So yes, there is pressure, but nothing's greater than the pressure I put on myself. I have to win this fight. This is a no-lose situation for me. I have to win. You know, I'm not getting any younger. I want to fight for the belt. If I lose, this isn't good for my career. Of course, this is a guy that I've always wanted to face, so that brings a lot of pressure. I've said I could always beat this guy. I have to beat this guy. So I've trained accordingly. But yeah, pressure is something that I put myself under, and it's something I thrive under.
You said you're a bad matchup for him. Do you think you're like any opponent you've ever faced before?
Well, certainly. There is. I mean, Chris Weidman's a well-rounded fighter. I'm a well-rounded fighter. I can take it to the ground. I can stand with him for sure. He hasn't got my speed, but more importantly, we can go through all the skill attributes, but he hasn't got my heart. It's as simple as that. He hasn't got my heart, and no one's got my heart, and he doesn't want this as much as me. He even said himself in the countdown stuff, and I've seen on his YouTube clips, he said he hasn't trained as intensely for this fight. Well, I'll tell you what, he doesn't do anything by himself. He has a massive entourage everywhere he goes. You know, me on a Friday night when he's probably sat at home watching TV, I'm out pounding the pavement, sprinting on the streets in the pitch black with no one with me, just me and a set of headphones. He doesn't want this as badly as I do, and that's going to be the real, you know, crucial matter in this.
Michael, what does he rank in the history of the sport?
No, of course, Anderson Silva is one of the greatest fighters, and I'm a huge fan of Anderson Silva. I really am, you know, and it's a shame. It's a shame that, I mean, you can see the disdain he feels for me when we had the square up, because I've said some things, but all I've done, I haven't attacked him, I haven't called him names, I've just said that what's happened. And unfortunately, that's very, very relevant to this fight. His last fight, come on, we all know what happened, he tested positive. So, where does he rank? He ranks very, very highly. He's probably the most legendary, greatest fighter of all time. That's going to go down in the history books, it really is. But it was disappointing what happened, and I felt a little somewhat robbed. And of course, I have a huge stance against people that use performance-enhancing drugs. So for me, I was very disappointed. To see that he obviously feels so ill towards me. I don't want that. I've always been a fan of Anderson, but we are going to fight. That's it at the end of the day. So regardless of what he feels for me, it's not going to make him fight any harder. The fight is going to be the fight.
What do you think that will, what impact do you think that third test that you mentioned will have on his legacy?
Well, of course, he's going to tarnish his legacy. It's as simple as that. He still achieved what he achieved. He still got the knockouts he did and all these things. So it doesn't change history. But there will always be an asterisk above the name of Anderson Silva.
Why can you beat him on Saturday night?
How can I beat him? Yeah, well, I think I'm faster. I think I'm a better boxer. I'm a better wrestler. I have better conditioning. I'm younger. I'm hungrier. I want this more than him.
Unibet, det enda spelbolag som tar min sport på allvar.